I can't wrap birthday presents and Christmas presents and I can't put plates on.
Charlie, what are you doing here today?
On a moment's notice.
Are you support?
I am.
But are you filming? Are you detailing? Are you prepping? Are you driving?
I'm just support, man. Just moral support.
What an awesome lineup we have today. The best of BMW's 3 Series Tourings, but most importantly, the BMW ALPINA B3 Touring. The first time we're going to get to see in action, not only against the M3 Touring, but also against the M-Light compatriots. So it'll be really interesting to see what it does. Now, the ALPINA B3 Touring sports the same S58 as the M3 Touring, although ALPINA have done some revisements to it. So we've got replacement pistons, intake manifold, exhaust manifold, turbochargers, intercoolers, the list goes on, but they've also given it a tune and also a gearbox tune. What that does is it actually gives it around about 10 brake horsepower less, or give or take, than the M3 Touring, but it's up nearly 50 Newton meters of torque. Weight is very similar as well, although the ALPINA is stated to be a little bit heavier, so it'll be really interesting to see how it compares. And obviously we have the M-Light, which will have their own rivalry going on as well. The B58 revised in the M340i Touring, producing around about 370 brake horsepower, and then the baby 340D with around 340 brake horsepower, but the torque backing it up the back end. Let's see how we get on today. What are we struggling for? The BMW is showing exactly how the xDrive system is superior to everything out there. All of them launched very, very well. The first one was a bit sketchy. Obviously the tyres are cold, but each of them got off the line amazingly, really. Really surprised with that ALPINA. It just puts the power down very, very well. But as kind of expected, the Touring, I think, has the edge. And that's kind of shown out of all the races, really. It'd be nice to see at the end what the difference actually was in the times and the distances between them. And also what the difference between the 340 and the Touring is, the diesel and the petrol, that is.
Go diesel, let's go diesel.
Oh, much closer this time.
The rolling races now should be a bit more interesting. Hopefully the torque will have us pip the M340i, but let's see how they get on.
Go then. 3, 2, 1, go. It's okay just to kick down. So much so I could scratch my nose while doing it. Yes. How's that diesel doing? Not so bad this time. Not a huge difference in it, but enough of a difference to matter. Well done, Sam. You're in the car with the most horsepower.
Were you pulling me in there?
I'm always pulling you in for a hug.
It looked in my mirror that you started to close in on me on that run there. No?
You weren't gapping me anymore. That initial pickup on kickdown, obviously the Alpina is more focused on comfort than the M car, and I think that's like mimicked in its gearbox response then, where you got it in normal drive. This car does have more peak torque than yours, so that's helping it out, I think, at higher speeds. Anyhow, what I'm more interested in is how close was the 40D to the 40i, Rory?
Unfortunately for me, it was not close. I thought my 700 Newton meters might have come in handy there, but the gearbox was a bit dithery, and I watched Nick sort of make his way up the runway in front of me, unfortunately.
Yeah, because the initial response to that engine is pretty good, but I imagine it comes off that peak torque quite quickly, that diesel engine.
Yeah, it does, but you know, once again, 42.5 mpg. That's the real winner here.
And that's the first set of races done there, and the races went exactly as expected. The car with the most power won, and the car with the least power lost. All of them performed very well considering the X-Drive systems put them down very, very well. The rolling races were interesting as well. We will see when the final cut comes out exactly how close it was between the Alpina and the M3 Touring, but let's get on to the next set of races.